Young Thug has decided to bless the world with a new album. He has finally released Punk. We've been waiting for this project for a very long time. I think everybody's been waiting in anticipation. I do think that the hype for this album kind of died down a little bit the closer we got to the release window. But regardless of that, I think everybody's always excited for a new Young Thug album, even though I haven't really liked a full project since I don't know when. I really don't know when. My main gripe with Young Thug was always that his albums never really lived up to his full potential that I think he's capable of. And hopefully that is not the case with Punk. Hopefully he fully delivers on this project. I will say the album cover has me very excited because this is probably one of the best album covers we've seen this year for any of the newer released albums that have come out. So that has already got me very excited. I haven't heard much about any of these songs that landed on this album besides Stressed with J. Cole. There is a J. Cole feature. I've heard some good and bad things. I heard he's doing some different vocal inflections on that song. So I am still excited for it, even though there is a potential chance that I might not like it. But regardless of that, let's not waste any more time. Let's just get right into it. First song is called Die Slow with Strick. Man, I don't know how to say these names, bro. Y'all know that.
And they had a few words and it ended with my dad shooting and ended up in the hospital in a coma. Yeah, so fast forward like 8 years later, my sister said got the fighting and she had a stroke and shit, but she alright. Yeah.
Whoa.
I always knew I wasn't gonna be gay. I had to send a picture to my mom's phone.
Man, okay, that's a deep story. It's kind of jarring to like go from telling a story about his mom getting ran over and this whole deputy, situation he describes, and then go right into, I always knew I wasn't going to be gay. That's the contrast between those lines is crazy.
They trying to divide us and conquer the world with it. They got a couple of the guys and all of the girls with it. But I'm a mastermind, I see right through it. Okay,
so that was Die Slow. I did like the somber guitar melody in the background that kind of carries the track instrumentally. I like the backing vocals that are very airy near the later half of the song. I also do like the subject matter that Young Thug's going with, kind of giving us a little bit of an insight into what his life was like before he became a celebrity. The only thing I wish with this song is that it was structured a little bit better in regards to how he told some of his story. I wish it was a little bit more, not chronological, but just, I don't know, thoughtful in how it was displayed to the listener, because I felt like it was a bit all over the place at certain spots. But I do like the vocal melodies that Young Thug was going with. I think Strict was at the later half of the song, because I think he said like something like, slime, if you deal with these people, you're gonna die slow. So I think those were his vocals, and they sounded good. I think the track really picked up there melodically when he came on the track. So I did like it as an opener. Didn't blow me away, but I do like that he's leaning into the punk aesthetic already from track 1. So let's go into the next one. It's called Stressed, featuring J. Cole and T. Shine.
Got me stressed.
I already like the hook.
Street pussy nigga usually pop a trigger if the hand speed. Lackluster, I'ma smack suckers this year. I ain't saying I'm a rich nigga that's in this shit. I'm one of them. Barely check my account, nigga, I'm admitting it. Don't give a fuck.
Okay.
I got a daddy and shit, medical bills, credit to fix, people to pay, labor to run. You play with your life if you play with my phones, nigga.
That was fire. Okay, here's the thing. You niggas wildin'. Now, I do understand why some people didn't like that feature. He did do some weirder vocal inflection, like with his flow near the later half of his verse. I still liked it though. I like J. Cole doing different things. I like him kind of stepping outside of his comfort zone, which is the main thing. His main critique by people who aren't fans of J. Cole is he doesn't do that. And when he does it, people don't necessarily like it, which is cool. I get it. But I really enjoyed it. I think that type of J. Cole verse just fits with an artist like Young Thug, kind of trying to match his energy while still being authentic subject matter wise to J. Cole's, self as an artist. So I actually liked that contribution. I think it meshed together well with what Young Thug was doing on the hook. So that transition wasn't too left field or off kilter, or didn't feel like J. Cole didn't, belonged on the song. The only thing I will say is, the mixing on J. Cole's voice, I think J. Cole has such a strong presence because his voice is just very dominant on a track whenever he kind of projects his voice. So I kind of wish he was mixed a little bit better to match some of what Young Thug was doing. At certain portions of his verse, it did feel like he was really loud in comparison to the beat. But regardless of that, I really enjoyed his feature. So let's keep it going. This is nice. It's a dope flow. I think that's a really good, technically, opener to the album. I think J. Cole did his thing. Like I said everything I needed to say about J. Cole's contribution. T. Shine kind of closes that track out very nice as well. I like what he did. It wasn't anything too crazy, subject matter wise or flow wise. We've heard that type of delivery before, but it does still fit what was the energy of Stressed. And the only critique I have for that song is not enough Young Thug. That's about it. Let's go on to the next one. It's called Stupid Asking. Stupid/asking. I can't read, sorry.
Heard you went and got the beans, is you stupid? Spending all your dividends, is you stupid? You must be stupid. You must be stupid. Hanging with some blood crip, you with a couple folk. See like what you doing? You fucking know I knew it, nigga. Why you fuck my friend? Is you stupid?
I love this track so far. It's so good. Like, it still has the guitar-driven energy that he's been going with so far. It just feels good to hear Young Thug's vocals over this because it doesn't feel like he's being restrained by the kind of, I don't know, expectation of how he should rap or sing over regular hip hop beats. I really like that he's just able to do whatever he wants over these type of instrumentals because there's so much space. I also like the playfulness that I'm getting from this track. This is a 5 minutes cut, so I'm assuming there's going to be some type of switch somewhere in the middle of this song, so let's just keep it going.
Hey, I came in and she said, alright.
You hear the drums in the back? Yeah, the switch is coming, guys.
Little mama Kawasaki, let's ride. You ain't ever gotta ask me.
Here it goes. Where are we going with it? Where are we going with it, Thug? I'm trying to get in your guts. Show me your guts. This switch, first of all, Young Thug's flow is just floating. But the instrumental, I really love the repetitive vocal sample that's just kind of playing in this pocket. And it just fits the vibe of the first half of the song so well, where when the drums came in, it wasn't aggressive. It was still very smooth. So this transition, it didn't feel like an entirely different song. It felt like an extension. I just took an Instagram model down right on a dirty mattress. You want you grab it, don't ask me. You ain't even gotta. You taking IG models down on their dirty mattress, Thug? You don't have to do that. You could buy them a mattress. Or just not do it on the dirty mattress. So that was Stupid/Asking. That's definitely my favorite song so far. I think it is better than Stressed. I think that has a little bit more replay value for me. Not because it was inherently more catchy than Stressed. It's just because that's the Young Thug that I've always wanted. Just unhinged, doing whatever the hell he wants, and just introducing more instrumentation into his instrumentals. You know, not going so heavy on 808s, just kind of having that air to do whatever. And that song is, you know, that to the fullest extent. So hopefully we get some more of that. I did hear some other things that's not the case, but hopefully people are wrong because I liked what J. Cole did on Stress. So, you know, I'm gonna have my own opinion on this one. Next song is Recognize Real with Gunna. Man, I won't be victimized. Can I just say, I really love when Young Thug does these vocal cuts that are like a part of the beat, and they're just kind of in the background, just creating this extra energy for the. Oh man, he's so good. He's so good in this genre. It's so good.
It's written on your face, like you better than me. I can't get caught up with you bitches. I'm keeping it P. You gotta keep it P. I told my teacher I'm gonna buy my watch because I was taught. I started screaming out the answers before it started. Yeah, I mean, this is just kind of a song about Gunna and Young Thug just talking about their old life and how far they've come. I mean, also some of the hardships. I guess Young Thug said something that was very interesting. He said it wasn't the watch line, even though that was hilarious. It's like, I told my teacher
I'm gonna buy a bunch of watches because I was always tardy to class or something like that. That's kind of funny. But the line where he said, how could I see a woman with my son and she's not my wife? Like stuff like that, like, you know, feeling some type of way. You know, I thought that was interesting because, you know, Young Thug is a little bit more vulnerable on this album. You know, it's not like outright telling a cohesive story and like being super deep with it. But it is interesting to hear how he feels about, you know, some of the things that are going on in his life, because he's never put that in his music, at least as far as I know. I'm not like the hugest Young Thug fan, so correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but it is interesting to hear how he feels about that. And I do enjoy Gunna on this hook. It's so good. Like he really works for what Young Thug wanted to kind of execute on this song. So far, Young Thug is 4 for 4. So this might be my favorite Young Thug album, but we'll see. Let's go on to the next track. It's called Contagious.
I told my lawyer change the situation. Told the judge that I was always faking, but I know it's in my heart and I feel it baking. Till the Lego on my boys.
That snare is
trying to blink. I took my finger and I remade the song. I wish that keeping it real really was contagious.
That's such a dope hook. Okay, damn. Yeah, I think this might be my favorite Young Thug project so far. I wish that keeping it real was contagious. That's a caption, number one. Number two, that's just a really dope opening line for the track, and also just a dope hook. That's on repeat. That one's gonna be on repeat. I also really like the drums on this one. The snare has a lot of noise to it, but it still has that grit. And then I also like that, as far as I remember, I don't believe there's a hi-hat. I think it's a shaker that's kind of in this, like kind of keeping the tempo up. Or if there is a hi-hat, it's really faint and it's not like determining the rhythm. But I just like the drums. The instrumentation's dope, and Young Thug's killing it right now.
Yeah.
I love that piano.
My daughter told me, Daddy, you the best. I told her I'm making it back that night. Baby, pass me that best. I know.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. I love the piano that comes in on the hook side, and then the vocal cut. Once again, it seems like Young Thug is sticking to a formula so far on this album. It's a good formula because there's enough variety in his approach to the songs and in the instrumentals to where it's not getting old yet. Now this is 20 songs long though, so I'd hope he'd switch it up at some point. But we'll continue on and see what's going on. Peeping Out the Window with Future and B Slime. Let's see. Okay, I already know what type of song this is, so.
If you truly know me, most of my dogs bounced up. I doubled up, I don't do no chores no more.
Yeah, so they're doing the thing that I said they were gonna do. I've heard this before so many times. Not a bad thing necessarily, because I'm just tired of it, but it doesn't mean that the rest of the world is. Clearly they're not. A lot of these artists who do this for whole albums are selling a lot and gaining fan bases, and it's kind of like the forefront of that kind of vulnerable ballad-esque type of hip-hop. It's really popular right now, so I'm not going to, you know, hold Young Thug to this different standard because that would be unfair, because I do listen to that type of music in my free time, but it doesn't blow me away. So it appearing on this album right after we've gotten a lot of different sounds and different instrumentals from Young Thug so far, it feels a bit disappointing, but maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm being a little too harsh. Let me know in the comment section. Am I tripping? Maybe I am. I'm okay with that though. Let's just move on. Next song is called Rich Nigga Shit with Juice WRLD.
Rich nigga shit, calamari. Fake on a split, I'm so sorry. 1996 beans Tyler Perry. 1996 rims like a tire.
What is this instrumental? I don't know what's happening, but I like it.
On that grass, chicken bark like a Mexican. I keep
what?
Murder every nigga, murder every instrumental. Then my kinfolk different get fucked up when I hop out the pants like Rambo.
Oh my God. Juice WRLD ate that. Those are the type of verses you use for an album. It sounded mixed properly. It sounded like it really fit the instrumental very well. I'm almost inclined to think that this was the original instrumental that he rapped over, because there were certain aspects of his flow that fit this beat perfectly. There's no way this wasn't the original instrumental. If it's not, shout out to the engineer, shout out to the producer, because y'all are insane. Love that track. That's one of my favorites for sure. Let's go into Living It Up with Post Malone and A$AP Rocky. This should be an automatic bop.
We got 45 bitches just living it up.
Okay.
Got ice on the way, put stones in your face. Calamari, Ocean Lake, split me 4 ways. By Provision, Sandra Pay. Yeah, alright.
I really enjoy this song so far. Post Malone doing what Post Malone does best on the hook. I like that there's no drums on here, at least not yet. Young Thug did his thing, sat in the perfect pocket like he always does. This one's just real feel good, easy to listen to. You know, this one, I wouldn't be surprised if this one did really good on the charts. I can't imagine A$AP Rocky over this instrumental. I'm assuming there has to be a beat switch or at least some drums come in on his portion, but we'll see. I don't know.
Do a spin out in my fresh tired red stones. I'm a vampire in my petrified. Whole city going down, down, down. Whole city going down, down, down.
Okay. I don't know about that one. Okay, here's the thing. It wasn't that out of place. I don't know, man. I don't know if you needed A$AP Rocky on that song. I'm gonna keep it honest. We could have just had a trade-off between Post Malone and Young Thug on that verse. Wait, Post Malone didn't even get a verse. Why would you not just have Post Malone do a verse? Let's go into the next one called Yeah, Yeah, Yeah. That one kind of pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. These last two songs have been pretty disappointing. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. This hook is not it. Yeah. No. Next track is Insure My Wrist with Gunna. No, not another one of these, please.
$500,000 got insurance on my watch. $500,000 now I got me some insurance on my wrist. I told her, Mom, be careful, bitch, this all on my expense. I told her, watch the wheels on the Benz, cause it ain't rented.
Yeah. No. Let's go on to the next one. It's called Scoliosis with Lil Double O.
Pussy, young nigga try fuck with the kid, but they can't fuck on nothing I got on my motion.
That snare is loud as fuck.
I fought that bitch with a virus.
God damn. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. That snare is loud as shit. That is literally hurting my ears. Give me a second.
Bags. That fin in the jag. Put some holes in the cats.
I love that flute in the background though. In the right ear. My only complaint so far is this song feels very bare compared to the other songs. Even the ones that I wasn't like a huge fan of, at least they still had some ear candy to them. But this song, there's not much going on. Kind of seems like he's relying heavily on the pan flute and the hard instrumental. It probably will work for most people, but I just feel like this song's a bit out of place with the overall energy we've had this whole album. At least with RNS, with Juice WRLD, it didn't fit, I guess, instrumentally, but at least it was a banger. So even though it didn't fit, you weren't complaining. You were like, okay, cool, put this shit on the album. That's cool. But with Scoliosis, so far, not feeling the vibes. Why are his vocals overlapping each other? I know that's like a flow people do, but it's usually not that early. Like I can't even hear the end of the line. So I don't know what you're rapping about. I don't know about this one, bruh. Next song is Bubbly with Drake and Travis Scott. I've heard good things about this one. Let's see if it's good. So at this point of the album, I'm assuming Young Thug just completely abandons the ideology of this being a punk album.
You stay in your feelings, you never my boy. I can't come to the hood, I pull a decoy. Another body dropping, they screaming my name. I'm going to LA on a private plane. Drink, Eric came through with a little entertainment. Air 29 got her looking like space. Houston is a problem where we busting her face. On her face, and I'm loving that body and lacing. I love you, little spider and Jack. Yeah, I know
there
you
it goes.
If you lay yourself, take shots with me. If I love you, I drop you. Time in a
See, at first with Travis's verse, that rhymed, sorry. His first half of his verse, it felt like, yes, he's in tune, but I don't know if that was the note he should have went with. Regardless, the second half, he really picked up the flow and started to play with the melodies a little bit more. And I think that's where his verse started to shine. So, dope. He made up for it.
Please, me and Lil Thug on fleek. Got a little hoe wanna me. Hey, what? Fuck on.
Oh my God.
OVO been on the charts for 500 weeks, so somebody love when I speak. Doing this shit just to show we get down in the 6 minutes.
That's one of my favorites. I think that last part with Drake really saved the track from mediocrity. Because even though I did enjoy Young Thug's section and Travis Scott's section, it did feel a little like, okay, it was cool. It was cool. I could go back to that one. But that last part with Drake, that switch, Drake sounded confident. There were a couple lines there where I was like, yeah, this the one. Let's go into the next track. It's called Road Rage.
Check for a couple million on a jet. Swear to God, 2006, my sickest dream was buying a vet. Bought that shit and then I wrecked and then I copped another one. Smoke.
Okay, damn. I think we're starting to get to the section of the album that I know what everybody's talking about now. I don't think we're going back to rock at this point or punk music. I don't think we're going back to that. I think the rest of the album is going to sound like, you know, normal Young Thug, which is still good. Just a bit disappointing. I expected the whole entire album to sound like the first half with some slight differences in tonality and approach. I don't have any problem with a few bangers on here or a few heavy 808 driven tracks, but it just feels like he's completely abandoned the overall concept of this album, which was the aesthetic. Damn, ever since Living It Up with Post Malone and ASAP, I haven't really been impressed by anything, or you know, everything's just kind of mid. Next song is Facing. As soon as I say that, we go right back into it. Let me just say, first of all, I'm sorry for everything I just said before this track played. Number two, I love the mixing on these songs that are different for Young Thug because it just adds another layer of creativity to the whole track. It feels different. Like, compare this song to the last 5 tracks we've heard. I will take this song every time. The hi-hat slightly panned to the left. Then we got this very faint shaker in the right ear. It's not really a shaker. It's more of like a percussion noise that's creating this classic R&B, you know, kind of rhythm to it. Then we have these really big in-your-face synths in the background, really carrying the melody of this track. This is dope. It's so dope hearing Young Thug going over instrumentals like this.
It's full of big faces. Get your pay quick. Walk up on them and just face it. Open cases. Guess they thought I was something to play with.
Okay, that's one of my favorites. Just like that, we're right back into. It doesn't necessarily fit the punk aesthetic still, but it's a different genre. I'm cool with that. Let's go on to the next one. It's called Dropping Jewels.
Yeah, I told my nigga I'ma drop the jewels on him. You gotta go through this shit here with your heart. You can't snooze on it. It's bad, you better get rid of it or lose on it. I know you heard that old saying about bad fruit, homie. I told my son he a cheerleader, but might gotta catch your body. His driver named Joe, but he still can't do his slapping.
I told my son he ain't a cheerleader, but he might have to catch a body. Damn.
Just hopped up like that ghost. I been driving a dead body. I ain't really into nothing, but I spin it like a hobby. I was locked in.
Wait, hold on. What did he just say?
Ain't do it slapping. I just hopped up like that ghost. I been driving a dead body.
Oh my God. I just hopped up out the ghost. I've been driving a dead body. Hey, yo. Because if he's a ghost, he's dead. Okay, Dropping Jewels. Another dope track. Piano driven. Young Thug kind of switches up his flow, just rapping, really. None of the theatrics, which is with his voice. No different type of inflections besides the hook. It's just straight up rapping, flowing. That's it. Just some real shit. Really dope to hear that from Young Thug. It fits the overall aesthetic of the album. Not necessarily like the punk aesthetic, but I feel like he's being a little bit more vulnerable on the tracks that were coming on earlier. Not in the midsection. The midsection was a little bit more braggadocious, regular trap beats. But now we're kind of getting back to the vulnerability of it all, and I think that's a good thing. So let's go on to the next one. Fifth Day Dead.
One clear coke is on the cold is out. I had 20,000 paint seal in the drought. 12 in the corner, me and the dogs getting out. Playgrounds galore for teachers, asking why all of them brats. Got big, we get sitting on my neck. I throw it to my dog, I told him fish.
I don't really know what to think of that song. That song was just kind of boring. I don't know why that had to be on here, especially after a song like Dropping Jewels. Not fucking with that one. Let's go on to the next one. It's called Icy Hot with Doja Cat.
She say I'm high as fuck. I said I'm icy hot.
Jesus Christ. Okay, this isn't a critique of the song. The inconsistent mixing on this album, like near the later half, is insane. One moment the songs are really loud, and the next moment they're too low. A little bit of consistency would have been nice. Let's just keep going though.
I whip that road, just like I'm a sailor. I count up so much, I bleed from paper. I keep the feeling glizzy by my neighbor.
All right, so I'm gonna let Doja Cat finish. But this song ain't it.
He said I'm wifey type. He threw dick like bouquet. He call me Doja Rat.
Okay. I like Doja Cat too. But nah, I'm good. Next track is Love You More with Nate Root Raz. Hey, shout out to anybody who knows what movie I got that from. It's Bad Boys 2. Okay.
Be the last thing you see when you turn your light off.
Okay, we're back to the aesthetic. Let's go. Oh, old school vibe. Here we go. Finish strong, Thug. Yes. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes. This is fire. I love the, oh man, I love the feeling of this track. The hook is dope. I don't know who that is on the hook. I can't tell. But I love the hook, man. Young Thug sounds at home on instrumentals like this, which is why I wish more of this album sounded, you know, in this vein of genre. But whatever. Regardless, we got what I asked for. This is dope. Let's keep it going. Let's finish strong. Please don't fuck this up, Gunna.
I love it.
Okay, Gunna. Okay, don't keep doing it though. Metro Boomin did this. We're gonna talk about one day. We're gonna talk about how Metro Boomin and Pierre Bourne doing a versus would be a bad idea. One day we'll talk about it. But if we're talking about artistry, a lot of people give it to Pierre. I think y'all are sleeping on Metro. But we'll do a video on it later. That was a dope track. I liked it. I liked what Gunna did. Even though I feel like just like at the end of his verse, he could have did something a little different, but it's fine. At least he didn't fuck it up. I think it added to the track, in my personal opinion. I could deal with it. But I did really enjoy that track. Let's go on to Hate the Game. 2 tracks left, guys. Yes, finish strong, Thugger. Finish strong. Bring us home. Starting off with misogyny.
Hopped out the Lamborghini and she ate me. All the water on my sleeve, I need a jet ski. Then I shot a snake. Green face AP, I'm about to call it Shrek. Told me you're betting and I caught the cat.
He said green face AP, I'm about to call it Shrek. Which one? Shrek 1, 2, 3? I mean, there's only one of those answers is correct. Hate the Game is so basic, but I love it. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I think it's a good track. It's fun. That's all I really wanted was Young Thug to just lean into some of these more fun tracks. I mean, did you need as many bangers on this album, you know, in the mid section? I don't think so. I think you really could have dived a little bit further into, you know, combining hip hop and punk together. Like Hate the Game. Not that it was this unheard of fusion. Nobody's ever done this before. But, I mean, it was still a part of the aesthetic. Still a banger. Still a part of the aesthetic. You could still get all the features you had on tracks like this. Tell me you wouldn't want to hear Travis Scott or Drake go over something like this. That's such a dope trio over like a Don't Hate Me, Hate the Game about like, you know, being popular and being with multiple women and like women being upset at them and them just be like, hey, don't hate the game. Y'all didn't like me when I was broke, but now that I'm up, now it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that would have been a dope track. But let's go on to the last one, Day Before with Mac Miller. Let me know if you guys want to see a Mac Miller Faces reaction.
I had a hand out dog room so she can't say molested. I tried to take back all the watches, rings, and the necklaces. She said I'm taking full advantage cause I'm never stressing.
Everything 100, I don't ever leave 50. Yeah. Did my own half time, info was simple. What the fuck you think I'm rich for? All I want's a pussy, baby, give a dog a bone, yeah, yeah. I don't need a lot, but I got a lot.
Okay, that was Young Thug's Punk album. Man, what a great ending, by the way. Mac Miller sounded right at home on that track. Flow is dope. Really carried the melody well. I would have loved to see Young Thug kind of finish off the track a little bit at the ending. Maybe harmonize with Mac. But besides that, I think that was such a dope track to end off with this album. A very important album in Young Thug's discography, by the way. I don't have a lot to say about this album. I liked it. I really did. I really enjoyed it. But I do have just a critique about that midsection. The middle of this album is so unnecessary. I mean, after Living It Up, we go into Yeah Yeah. Didn't like that one. Insure My Wrist. Scoliosis. Bubbly. Road Rage. Like, that's 5 to 6 songs that are just meh. After coming off of dope track after dope track on the first section, and then dope track after dope track in the third section, with the exception of 2. That midsection really kind of bogs down this album and just feels like filler. If these songs are going to be on here, I would probably say the only songs that should have stayed in the midsection was Bubbly with Drake and Travis Scott. Bubbly with Drake and Yeah, I don't know, man. I just think this album didn't need to be 20 tracks. I get it, though. At the end of the day, as much as the consumer might hate some of these filler tracks, just because it kind of bogs down the concept or the aesthetic that you thought Young Thug was going for, at the end of the day, people will still listen to those filler tracks. They'll take, the songs they like off of it, put it in a playlist, and listen to it over and over again. So the more tracks that are on there, the more variety you have, the better the sales, the more spins you get. So I get it. It's the game, but I don't have to like it. At the end of the day, Punk didn't really live up to the name very much. But the moments where he did lean into the aesthetic very heavily, which was like the first section, very heavy. It was dope. It was dope to hear Young Thug over different types of instrumentation. It was dope hearing him do different types of flows, really carry melodies on his own. Young Thug has always had a really nice voice, but I feel like in hip hop he's kind of not used it to its fullest potential. Here, I don't think he did that still, but it was the closest I think we'll ever get. Because if he's not willing to do it on a Punk album, I don't know when Young Thug's willing to do it. Regardless of that, I did enjoy it. I don't think I loved it. I don't think I'll be coming back to this album very often compared to some of the other albums I've been listening to. It just doesn't really, knock any other album out of my constant rotation. Maybe in the future I'll feel differently near the end of the year when I give it a couple more spins, but for right now it's okay. If I had to choose a top 5 songs out of this album, I'd probably say Stupid/Asking, Contagious, super dope hook, really dope. I wish Being Real was Contagious, so dope. RNS with Juice WRLD, just a banger. That one's gonna be on repeat for sure. That's a banger. Faces, really dope. Loved what the instrumentation was doing, and Young Thug carried the vocals on that really, really well. And I'd probably say, fuck it, I'll say it. Recognize Real with Gunna. Did I say that one already? I don't think I did. Recognize Real with Gunna. I really enjoyed that one too. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of Punk, of this album. Do you think it lived up to your expectations? Do you think that Young Thug will probably release a deluxe version with some more Punk inspired songs? I doubt that the deluxe would be leaning into the Punk aesthetic. I would think it'd more so be on the line of just being another banger to add on to the overall sales of the album. Regardless of that, though, Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed watching the reaction. Subscribe for more videos. I have more on the way. I'm recording a few today, so I definitely have a couple more. And just turn on the post notice so you know when I upload, because it is a bit sporadic, as you can see from my upload schedule. Besides that, go ahead and go into the description where you could follow me on Twitter and look at all the random stuff that I'm retweeting, liking, and tweeting. Like I always say, enjoy the music while you can. Thanks for watching. Peace.